day 27, we are off. We are going to be running more dyke roads today. It was a difficult decision today. There's a more direct route, which is a bit more kind of roady, that goes straight into sort of Panchevo and Belgrade. It's shorter. It's not quite as close to the river, but there's water and towns and stuff, and it's going to be a very hot day today. And then there's a dyke road which hugs the river closely. It's a bit longer, but once you're in it, that's it. You're on a stretch where you don't really have any access to stuff. So I had a difficult decision to make today about what to do. I hope I've made the right one. The kind of purist in me wanted to stay close to the river, so I'm going out into the wilderness of the dyke roads again and just praying that it's okay and I can run. I've got about 20 miles to do, I think, on them. So I've got some water. I don't know, I feel a bit edgy about this. Also, we're up late. I'm starting at 8:30 instead of my usual sort of start time, so it's definitely going to get much hotter. I think it's going to hit 30 by about 10 o'clock. So yeah, I've just got to manage this one very carefully. Use my brain, take it very steady, and just tick off this one, and then we'll have another. I think that'll leave us about 20 tomorrow to run into Belgrade. So tomorrow we'll try and get up and get out back to my usual kind of 6 o'clock starts, because I think it's not a great idea starting this late. So I'm feeling a bit, actually today now, sort of feeling a bit heavy mentally than I was before, but we'll go and get it done. Just starting to move, doing my usual walk the first mile, and then off I go. So yeah, anyway, I'll update you on the way. So today, it's been a bit of a tricky start. I think I got inside my own head, just thinking about the fact that we started late. Didn't quite have my rhythm down, didn't quite have my route planned properly. Like even right up to the point where I was dropped off, I was still debating which route I was going to take, whether to run the road or the dikes or whatever. And I think that indecision has definitely sort of leaves you feeling a little bit, I don't know, out of sorts. And I think I was looking at the day's temperatures, all that kind of stuff, water availability, and I let it get inside my head. Here's one tip, because there's a nice breeze up here. I've got to run the temperature I'm in, not the temperature that it says on my phone, and all these 37s and 36s and blah blah blah. I just got to go out and see, because that definitely weighed me down. But hopefully now I'm just settling into a bit of a rhythm up here on the dyke roads. There's been a few doggies, but nothing too crazy. And I just need to take out a big 10 really here, and then that'll be most of the day eaten. So yeah, just got to run the surroundings that you're in. Okay, so about 10 miles in. I'm hoping about halfway at least along this dyke road. You can see behind me, I mean, it's absolutely cracking, it's beautiful. But temperatures have just now hit 30. Still a bit of a breeze. It's still runnable, but we're going to be rising pretty quickly now into midday, into the sort of 34s, 36s. So I think I've got 10 miles to go. And yeah, rather than smashing them out, I think it's time to ease it back. Slow and steady, or even just, yeah, consistent, and get them done. Be sensible now. If you go too hard, the knock-on effect for tomorrow, I think, is going to be big. So just need to be sensible 10 miles, and then I should be at my next kind of water pickup, which is a little town at the end of this. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful up here. If you had someone with a bike with water or whatever, yeah, it would be, I mean, this is magic running land, really. The greens, look how green that stuff is. I mean, Check me out, David Attenborough. Look how green the green trees are. So this here is a textbook scenario. Come across this kind of idyllic scene of a farmer herding his sheep up and over the dyke road. If you just look to the right, tiny little white dot, there's one four-legger. There's a couple more black four-leggers there. And immediately my thoughts go to, what are those dogs going to do? So this one's just cutting across towards me. The farmer's a little way away. And you're just hoping that that's going to be a friendly, but now he's cutting this way. And the farmer's now a long way away from that dog. So if that dog decides to wants to do something different, I'm now going to be in a little bit of trouble. So pepper spray in hand, I've got a stick out. He seems alright at the moment, he's sort of just bobbling along through the grass, but in Romania these dogs would have spotted me by now. Their ears would have been up and they'd have been over, but he's stopped there, he's seen me. You can see, what is he going to do? Hopefully he's just going home. Looks like it. And this is where, as soon as I catch the farmer's eye, I'll say hello. So I stopped filming that for obvious reasons. So I wanted to have both my hands free. One with this extendable selfie stick and the other with my pepper spray. And the white dog just went off, but there was a little black dog, sheepdog, came over to me and was snapping at my heels a little bit. That's the first dog I've had to give a little tap on the nose with my stick, so I did. Popped him on the nose one, and then he backed off a little bit, and then the farmer came. But it's like that, it's just like, the farmers don't always keep the dogs close by, you know, they sort of sometimes let them come up and harass you, which is not great. But anyway, I'm through it, and we're onwards. 16 miles in, got 3 to go. Just stopped for a wee. This is going to sound like a very strange thing to say, but I just realised that stopping and having a piss in a hedge, it's like one of my favourite parts of this entire trip. They're amazing kind of brief sort of 60 seconds where you just stop moving the legs, you breathe a little, soak in some air into the lungs, spin your head around the countryside and see what's going on, and just take a moment to relax for a moment whilst you're emptying that bladder, and the relief that comes with that. There's so many other points of relief happening that it's like a joyous moment. I hadn't really expected it to be that way, but it is. And I have watered a lot of hedges across Europe so far, but there you go. Who knew that would be a highlight of this trip? Another thing I wanted to say, I've just been running along and just thinking about why I'm doing this and about what it means. Explaining to people, why would you go and run something like this? You know, what for? What's the reason? And it's quite hard to explain. It's kind of there, you know, it's just something that popped up and it was there. It was an idea, a thought, it hasn't been done. It's a challenge to myself to see what I'm made of. And I think part of it is this. I sort of saw an opportunity here to do something in my life that's genuinely, or I at least consider it would be great. You know, an act of pushing on greatness without wanting to sound boastful or whatever. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but it's a shot. It's a shot at something truly astonishing. And there aren't many of those really, I think, available to you. And so when I realised that no one had done this and I saw how long it was, that it was potentially manageable, and I felt I was in the kind of shape mentally and physically to have a crack, I just thought, it just stayed with me. I couldn't let it go. I wanted to have a shot at that, at doing something remarkable, something unique, something different, something beyond. You know, running a sub 3 hour marathon is all good, great. It's a good goal to have. Finishing the MDS is great. You know, these are all great goals. These are all really brilliant things to achieve. But this is just beyond. It's just something extra special. And why not in your life have a chance to go for something great? You know, I've watched other people do it. I watch other sports people, I read books about footballers and Olympians and, you know, whatever it is they do in their lives, you know, business people, and they've all had a shot. They all pushed to achieve something great, and they pushed through hardships, and that's something that captures my imagination, and I wanted a piece of that. I wanted to see if I was capable of that. And so, as tough as this might be, this is my chance. This is my shot at doing something great and remarkable, and I have to seize it with both hands. The other thing I think people might sort of say is, well, it's a bit midlife crisis sort of situation. You know, what are you running from? What's going on? Now, thought just occurred to me just now that, I mean, what if midlife crises are actually just bloody awakenings from the fact that we all work our asses off for so many years, and all of a sudden you look back and you go, well, what have I got for that? I've got a house and a car and a mortgage and some debts and some this, that and the other load of possessions that are clogging up my house and all that stuff, but what have I really got? And all of a sudden you go, oh, okay, have I been chasing the right things all the time? All this time? Maybe I have been duped by the man. So if this is a midlife crisis, then I actually think that rather than demonising midlife crisis, then midlife crisis should be things that we hold up, because I actually feel like they're awakenings. This is what life should be about. Meeting people, exploring the world, challenging yourself, opening yourself up, testing yourself. You know, testing your preconceptions of what places are like, of what people are like. Challenging your own ideas, beliefs. Understanding what other people's beliefs are and where they might come from, even though you might not agree with them. Getting out and pushing beyond your own limits and trying to achieve something remarkable, doing something every day that actually, even though it's tough, puts a smile on your face. That's what I'm doing here, I think. So it's a long-winded answer, but that's really what this is all about. And if I'm having a midlife crisis, then fantastic. You guys should all have one too. So I'm finished for the day. My super crew have just come to collect me. Riley just handed me, what did you give me? Show me, what was that you gave me a second ago to restock me? One of these guys. Ah, the best. Kinder chocolates, 2 litres of fizzy water, and a bag full of other goodies, crisps and all sorts. How's it been waiting for me? Hard? Medium? Is it a bit boring waiting, sending Daddy off to run?
Yeah.
Sitting in the car?
Yeah. Really.
What's the
Driving in the car.
What's the worst bit?
Without any devices to play on.
No, that's an endurance challenge in its own right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you've been super crew. Come on, give us a high five. Pow! Thank you very much. We did it again. So, very quick wrap from day 27. Basically going out late in the heat has taken a little toll on me. I'm feeling a little bit more beaten up. I'm a little bit more fatigued, a little bit more tired than I have been for many days. It's just hot out there. I ran quite kind of hard really overall. I've picked up a couple of little niggles. The top of the back of my right calf going into the knee sort of tightened up a little bit towards the end of the run. It's a bit sore. Also my left Achilles is sort of just going, we're here, grumbling, complaining a bit. But these are all things that hopefully night's sleep kind of tend to sort out and they go away. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough one today. It was a bit of a gamble going long into the dyke road, but I feel good about basically having it so it's kind of a bit more pure and stuck to the kind of route that to the river route and all of that kind of stuff. So it worked out. It's not ideal going that long without water in between or whatever, but we got away with it. We're going to rest up now. Tomorrow we'll be up a bit earlier and make the ascent into Belgrade, which first major capital city is going to be interesting. I mean, running into it, I think, is going to present a different kind of challenge. I've run into some big towns, but not a city. And there's some bridges, and I think there's going to be traffic, and I think it's going to be mentally sort of chaotic. But I'm looking forward to ticking that milestone, going into the first major capital city of this run. and then getting to show my family around some of the best sites of Belgrade, and yeah, having a bit of fun in the afternoon. So I think we've got a bit of a shorter day tomorrow, but we'll try and do it before the 37 degrees hit. So yeah, anyway, day 27 is done. I mean, we're closing in on halfway in terms of the number of days we've got to run, so feeling pretty strong for that. And yeah, we get there one day at a time.